Meghan Markle just launched a new pair of candles, $64 each. One is number 506 for Archie's May 6th birthday. The other is number 604 for Lily's June 4th birthday. And the official product descriptions on her lifestyle brand do not call them Archie and Lily. They call them, and I'm quoting the marketing copy, Prince Archie of Sausages and Princess Lily of Sausages. She is launching them 2 days before the late Queen's 100th birthday, and the palace has reportedly been told. Today we are covering Meghan's new candle line using her children's royal titles as a marketing hook. The Roy Morgan poll that just destroyed whatever was left of the Australia tour narrative. Meghan's team becoming very frustrated that MasterChef called her royalty on camera. On the same week, the candles called the kids Prince and Princess. The Irwin family quietly declined to meet the sausages in Queensland, and a brand new biography revealing that the late Queen, what she really said about Brexit on the eve of her centenary. Welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Let's get down to it. Let's start with the candles, because the timing is staggering. As ever, Meghan's lifestyle brand is launching what it calls a Mother's Day edit on April 22nd. 2 new signature candles. Signature candle number 506, ginger, neroli, cashmere, whatever, okay, launch on the date of Archie's birthday. And signature candle number 604, amber, water lily, and santal launch on the date of Lily's birthday. $64 a piece. $156 bundle if you want the compact chocolates and the matchbox thrown in. Okay, that's a lot. But, well, the Mirror already flagged that the ginger note on the Archie candle is, I am quoting, a nod to his red hair. And here is the part that is going to burn Buckingham Palace to the ground. The product descriptions explicitly use the titles Prince Archie of Sausages and Princess Lily of Sausages. Meghan told Town & Country, the brand is about expanding into other parts of your home. She told people the Sausages surname is something that she, Harry, and the children all share. And now she is taking those titles granted by the Queen and by King Charles, titles tied to the crown, titles her children inherited because their father was born into the firm she claims nearly destroyed her, and slapping them on a scented wax cylinder at $64 a pop. All right. Royal author Phil Dampier did not hold back. He told The Sun, nothing happens by accident, and she would have thought this through. Meghan sometimes, or most of the time, doesn't. But, okay. It begs the question whether Meghan is exploiting her 2 children who remain in the line of succession. I'd expect the palace to take a dim view of this. A dim view. That is the understated palace phrase for we are having the lawyers look at this before launch. The late Queen's 100th birthday was yesterday. Buckingham Palace opened the largest fashion exhibition of her reign. The country is in mourning mode, and Meghan's contribution to the week is a scented candle, subtly hinting that her 6-year-old's red hair smells like ginger and money. And remember, this is the same Meghan who told Oprah the titles were suffocating. The same Meghan who told the world that she had escaped an institution that nearly broke her. The titles were prison until they became a price tag. The monarchy was oppression until the oppression could be bottled in a cream ceramic jar and shipped internationally with a chocolate gift box attached. So 6 years of grievance marketing and the pivot to branding the children as prince and princess on a receipt landed in 96 hours flat. So let's talk about numbers, because the Roy Morgan poll just landed, and Roy Morgan is Australia's oldest independent pollster. They do not do tabloid vibes. They do hard data. And the data says that this tour was a catastrophe. 82% of Australians were aware the sausages were in the country. Of those, 81% said the trip did not improve their opinion of Harry and Meghan. Only 19% said it did, and 87% said the visit would not help Harry repair his relationship with King Charles. 75% said the tour did not reveal a more positive side to Meghan, and 69% said the sausages have not been treated unfairly by the royal family. Okay, read those numbers again, slowly. 81% not improved. 87% say it does nothing for the relationship with his father. 69% say the family has actually been fair to them all along. This is the country the dossier was supposed to be assembled for. This is the country whose footage was supposed to be the proof real for a return to Britain. And the people who watch it live on their own televisions just told a pollster the sausages did not move the needle a single millimeter. So the Mirror ran its own reader poll asking whether Harry and Meghan should be allowed to keep staging pseudo-royal tours abroad. 93% said, just stop, just give up. And 17,754 readers out of roughly 19,000 said, enough. 7% defended them. That is quite a verdict. And here's the part of this week that is almost impossible to say with a straight face. According to news.com.au, Meghan and her team were very frustrated after MasterChef Australia introduced her on camera with the line, "We've had MasterChef royalty in the kitchen before, but no one like this." Her team had reportedly told the producers specifically, do not use the word royal. Yeah, sure. They were outside the studio doors when the line was filmed. They only found out when the promo dropped. So let me line this up for you. On Monday, the cooking show calls her royalty, and her spokesperson is furious, apparently. On Wednesday, 2 days later, her business launches candles officially branded with the phrases Prince Archie of Sausages and Princess Lily of Sausages. So on television, don't dare call me royalty. On the price tag, please pay an extra $20 for the royal version. So the word on the street is that Australian business figures have already started calling Australia an ATM. The sausages flew in to fund that 16-bedroom house they have in Montecito. They are not wrong because the pattern has gotten so obvious that even the grifter training manual must have a chapter missing. You cannot scream at producers for calling you royal and then hand your brand team a price list that begins with the word prince. So pick a grift. Okay, grift, pick one. Stick with it. Or at least wait more than 48 hours between contradictions. And meanwhile, over in Queensland, the Irwins family just delivered one of the cleanest rejections of the tour. According to New Idea, Meghan had hoped to swing by Australia Zoo in Queensland to meet Robert Irwin and his family. Robert is 22. He is Steve Irwin's son. He is also, for the last 2 years, an official ambassador for Prince William's Earthshot Prize. He flew to South Africa in 2024 to support William personally. So the Irwins said no politely. The insider told New Idea. They meant no ill will towards the sausages, but at the end of the day, they are all staunch monarchists and firstly loyal to the firm. Yeah, firstly loyal to the firm. That is the sentence Meghan will be rereading on the plane home because the Irwins are not royal courtiers. They are not palace insiders. They are the most beloved conservation family in Australia, and they looked at an offer meeting with the Duke and Duchess of Sausages and said, our answer is the same as the King's answer. We are with William. So on a tour whose entire purpose was to prove the sausages still command gravitas, the most famous family in the host country essentially sent back a handwritten card that read, regrets only. And this gets sharper because Robert Irwin and his sister Bindi have spent their entire adult lives in the conservation and philanthropy lane. The sausages have been trying to muscle into for 6 years. Robert works with William on Earthshot, Binder works with the late Queen's legacy programs. They are, in every practical sense, the exact ambassadors the sausages wanted to be. And they looked at the Montecito pair and chose the senior branch of the family, quietly, without a press release, without a statement, just a door that never opened. And royal biographer Robert Hartman has just published a new book entitled Elizabeth II in Private, in Public, and one passage in it has landed like a depth charge. Hartman writes that after the Sandringham Summit, the meeting where the late Queen told Harry and Meghan they could not be half in, half out, Elizabeth was, in his words, enormously upset and terribly sad about a wasted opportunity, but she acted decisively. She privately conceded, Hartman writes, that she did not think the sausages would ever change their minds because, and I'm quoting the late Queen directly here, they took the dogs. Yeah, they took the dogs. The 2 rescue beagles gifted to them during their royal courtship. The moment the Queen saw those dogs on the plane to California, she knew, because a couple that takes the beagles is not a couple coming back. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.